Welcome to UniqueGal13. This is episode 2 of baking, and we are going to make pumpkin cake today. So if you remember, before this, we actually took a pumpkin we were using and we made a fresh puree out of it. And so now we're going to use that puree along with other ingredients to make the pumpkin cake. So here we go. And yes, I am following directions. This is not one of my recipes where I'm not following directions. So we're going to start with the sugar. Of course, you got to have sugar. Let's see here. So sugar, sugar, sugar. That's the main ingredient. So we're going to do 2 1/4 cups of sugar. And I just lost track of what I was doing now. Okay. It happens. It happens. Let's try it again. So we are going to do 2. I did already wash my hands. 1 and 2. Is that a lot of sugar? Yes, it is. 2 is what it is. Okay, put this aside. Now, it says we are going to mix the sugar and oil, 1 cup of oil. Now, it does say vegetable oil, but I do not cook with vegetable oil. I cook with olive oil or avocado oil, so it should be fine. So 1 cup of vegetable oil. There we go. 1 cup. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Not. I don't know about this. All right. It is football Sunday too, so you'll hear football in the background, which is all good. I like watching football. But I wanted to get this made so I could use that puree that I made the other day. All right, so we'll put this aside. Now, next thing, we are going to mix this until it's well combined, then add eggs 1 at a time, then mix in the vanilla. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this going. I like to do it in the sink just in case. All right, we've got that mixed. So now we are going to add eggs 1 at a time. Takes 3 eggs, so 3 large eggs. I was going to say it looks a little, I don't know if you can see it here, but it looks a little crumbly, grainy, but it'll smooth out once we get the eggs in here. So got my eggs. Room temperature eggs, by the way, makes a big difference, room temperature. So there is 1 egg. Okay. Egg number 2. Get in there, little egg. There we go. Wash the hands. All right. Oh yeah. Now it's looking better. All right, now it's looking a lot better. And egg number 3. Here we go. Okay, now that's looking a lot better. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth batter. So next is going to be the vanilla. And how much vanilla are we supposed to do here? 1.5 teaspoons. Now, my vanilla may look strange here, but this is vanilla that my parents' neighbor made. So this is actually fresh, homemade vanilla that she gave me that we're going to use. Oh, I love the smell of vanilla. All right, and how much did it say? 1.5 teaspoons. Let's do it. I'm going to actually use this other one here. So let's do, there's a half. There we've got 1. And here we've got the other half. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, and I don't know if you can see, but you can see the fresh vanilla beans in there, sitting there. So this is, not only are we using homemade vanilla, but we're using homemade pumpkin puree. Put this back in there. All right, let's mix this up. Okay, we've got that. Now, in a separate bowl, oh yeah, right here, it says we are going to mix our dry ingredients. So we need flour, baking powder, baking soda, pumpkin pie spice, which I did make by hand also, and salt. So we need, where is it here? 3 cups of flour. Wow, it's a lot. All right, so 3 cups of flour. One. And here we go. There's 2. Wow, it's using a lot of my flour. That one. And 3. All right, so there's our flour. We'll put this out of the way now. Okay, I usually just use a fork to, yeah, there we go. All right, now we need baking powder and baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Do not get these confused with your baking soda. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon of baking powder. There's a half. And I hope I'm not messing this up. Yeah, 1 teaspoon. Okay. So that's 1 teaspoon. I hope this was a half a teaspoon, otherwise I'm messing it up. We'll find out. OMG, okay. And then a half a teaspoon of baking soda right here. So I'll do the half teaspoon. Get her in there. And there we go. Baking soda. All right. Now, I'm missing, but what else was dry? Baking soda. Oh, the pumpkin pie spice and salt. Half a teaspoon of sea salt. That I am just going to do about a half a teaspoon in here. about a half a teaspoon, and then 2.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. So this is a combination of, what did I put in it? Allspice, nutmeg, ginger, what else? Cloves, and there was something, oh, and cinnamon. So that's what this is, and I'm saving in a container to use. So now we need 2.5 teaspoons. So this is the flavor right here. So that's a tablespoon. Luckily I looked. That would have been crazy. 2.5 teaspoons, not tablespoons. So teaspoon, 3/4, 1 teaspoon. All right. So here we go. There's 1. There's 2. And here's the half. Half a teaspoon. All right. Oh, that smells so good. Okay, so now I got to mix this up good. Where's my little fork? Oh, the fork's in it. All right, so let's mix this up really good now. Lots of upsets at football today, of course. The usual, every week. So we are mixing this up. I'm just using a fork here. You can use a whisk. You can use whatever you want. Oh, this smells so good. This is going to be so yummy. This is the very first time I've ever done this recipe because I didn't want to waste the pumpkin from Halloween, and it was really, definitely takes more time to do homemade puree, but you know what? We did it. So it's all good. It's all good. If you like UniqueGal13 and the cooking, make sure you like and subscribe. If you subscribe, I will even get you over the recipes for this and maybe some other goodies. All right. Now what does it say? Now it says, alternate adding the dry ingredients and the pumpkin to the wet ingredients. So 1 15-ounce can of pure pumpkin puree. So 15 ounces is, what is 15 ounces? Since I don't have a can, now I got to figure this out. Ounces. So that would be about this whole thing. So I'm thinking that, let me see. So this is the puree. So this was half of the pumpkin puree. You can see how much there is here. It's quite a bit. I don't know. That looks like more than 15 ounces. So let's just be safe here. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up because I'm pretty sure this is a lot more than 15 ounces. And I don't want to ruin the recipe. More than I already have, I should say. Yeah, I was right. It's almost double, I think. So since this was only half of the pumpkin recipe, it's really not that much more. Yeah, okay. So we'll have some left here so we can make something else. So yeah, it definitely wasn't all of it. It's about 16 ounces, but that's okay. We'll do a little extra. Let me find the top to that. So we're going to put the top on this right here. And I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator. So what do you do with this leftover puree? Well, it'll last about a week in the refrigerator, or there's a little trick you can do. So with the other half, and I'll probably have to do it with the leftover here too, if you put that into muffin tins, and then I actually have some silicone muffin tins, so I put it in the muffin tins, and then you pop them out, and then you put them in a freezer bag here, and keep them in the freezer, and they'll last for about a year, so you can make something else later by thawing them out. So that's what we're doing with that. All right, so now it says add flour mix in this about the same time. So we're going to pour in a little bit of the flour mix here. There we go. It's probably more than a little bit. And then I'm going to put in some of this and mix it up. And get flour everywhere. Whew. Oh, something I forgot to do is preheat your oven to 350. That's the first step you should take that I didn't do. Should be ready soon. Yep, starting to look like a pumpkin pie to me. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more flour here. I should say it's probably a little too much. Some more of this. Flour's going all over the place. That's why I have it in the sink, because I tend to make a mess. There we go. All right, that's mixed. And then the remainder of the flour right there. And the remainder of the pumpkin. All right, there we go. Okay, mix this up. All right, you should see all the flour that's around the inside of the sink here and getting it all over, but that's exactly why I have it in the sink instead of on the counter. Rinse this off. Don't like to let stuff sit too long with that on it, because then it just makes it harder to clean. All right, now I got to scrape the sides of the bowl with a cake. Where's my cake thing? Here we go. Cake thing here, because there's some flour and stuff stuck to the side. So let's get all that off and mix together. And we're almost there. It only takes about 30 minutes to cook, which I was surprised. So we'll see about that. Okay, so that. Mix it in. Who's gonna lick the little things? Oh yeah. Nobody, since there's raw egg in it probably. Oh, I can see some of the pumpkin on there too. Okay, wait. I thought there was butter. Did I miss something here? Granulated sugar. Oh, for the frosting. All right. I was like, I know there was butter in something, but that's for the frosting. So right now we're working on this part. So let's put that in there. get those soaking. Okay, so now I'm going to take this out, put it over here for a second, unplug this, get it out of the way. Put this down here. Ugh. All right, clean this off a little bit. And let's get our pan ready. I should not have put this in the water because I'm going to need it again. Okay. So now we got to put it in the pan. Now it says an oiled pan. I don't like my cakes to stick, so I'm considering using parchment paper. The issue with that is sometimes it doesn't cook the same. So I think I'm just going to oil and put a little flour on it too, and just make darn sure that it's oiled really well. So I'm going to get some more olive oil here. And there's my handy dandy paper towel. And I'm going to make sure that this is oiled up really, really well, all over the sides, corners especially, because that's where it tends to get stuck usually. If you guys have any tricks, let me know for sure, because I have the hardest time getting stuff to not stick, especially when I'm doing brownies. Chocolate brownies are just, and banana bread too. Banana bread I have been putting in parchment paper because that's in the bread tin, so I do it that way. Woohoo! Chicago just scored. Yay! All right. Let me get the excess oil off of here, although I would like to have a little bit. I'm contemplating whether I should do flour. Probably not, because that might change the recipe. All right. So now it says, spread the batter into the pan and then bake at 350 for 30 to 5 minutes. So here we go. Let's get this batter in there. As I'm blocking it so you can't see. All right. So let's get this out of here. Here we go. Get it out. I'm right-handed and I'm using my left hand to do this, so it's interesting, but I don't want to drop this bowl, so doing the best I can here. Trying to get all of this out. There we go. All right. Looks like most of it. Still a little bit here. And here. Okay. So make sure it looks even, which it doesn't right now. There's a bunch over here and none on this other side. So I'm just going to bring some over here on the right. There we go. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Look at that. Okay. Looks pretty even to me. I think we're good. So I am going to put this in the oven now. Set the timer for, what does it say, 30 to 35? I'm going to do it for 30. I always do it for less time, just in case, because you'd rather not burn it. It's better to have it, check it beforehand. And there you go. We will check it in about 30, 35 minutes and see what happens. See you soon.